Welcome to part 2 of your Life and Operating System personal profile. So, when we jump in, last time we had a look at our life cycle, the year within the life cycle, and the months and days within that year as focal points. We covered how we can then map certain moments or prepare for certain outcomes in our life by mapping future or past dates. Today, what I really want to take you down into is what we call the neurological archetype. So if you'd follow me down here into your physical consciousness, your everything that makes up you, we have a look at the neurological archetype. And if you roll over it, it's going to give you the definition and the context of what this means. And so it typically means how we internally decide, and then based on those internal decisions, we express ourselves into the world. So we've got 4 functions. We have a right brain, conceptual, a left brain, goal-orientated, internal decision-making process. And once based on that, like we said, we express ourselves into the world either by being passive or dominant. If you see a 4-4 value here, this means that you are harmonized in terms of whole-brained. So you have a conceptual and a goal-orientated internal mindset, as well as a external dominant and passive expression. So you can fluctuate between the two. This doesn't necessarily mean that you are fixed into that set. It's just saying that this is the channel that you will typically have most success with. Just because you go orientated certainly does not mean that you cannot be conceptual, and just because you're dominant certainly does not mean that you can't be passive either. Just that your normal modus would be to go successfully towards that pathway. Great. If you then click over, so for instance, this is my personal performance profile. I am a neurological archetype of a high achiever. If I then click into the high achiever, it's going to give me a whole script that's going to give me way more contextual meaning into what it is that I need and value to feel fulfilled as a high achiever. This gives us a globalized perspective and will help us to have a focal point when we go deeper into our own personal, more intimate behavior. As you will notice, the goal orientation is then finalized by a 6.5 hertz. You get a maximum out of 7.5. So it's 4.5 to 7.5 in terms of its goal orientation. So I have quite a high value in terms of achievement of goals and plans that I put onto myself. And as I express that into the environment, it comes out at a 4.5 forcefulness. So if you have a look at that, you would say that this person would have very large plans, but may have a challenge meeting those externally in the environment because there's a differential here of 2.5, okay? And so you could see how this may be a little bit of a challenge. Then, once we have a look at that, we can, with that high achiever archetype, we can see how the intimate patterns of behavior are going to play out to reach that fulfillment and that value factor.